I like to try and put a personality into these things, give them soul and a purpose, and I think it's important for people to realise that what they think is rubbish. I think people need to think twice about what they're throwing away, and it's just a throwaway society at the moment, and we need to change this way of thinking, basically. Hi, my name's Darrell Olson'a. I'm a metal artist from Leeds. I've been making metal art for 5 years now. And really enjoy using cutlery, like knives, forks, spoons. There's so much diversity, different shapes and sizes to each piece that lend themselves to all manner of sculptures that I like to make. I started my journey in metal art about 5 years ago when my wife asked if I could make a junkyard art dog for the garden, which I made and really enjoyed it, and it kind of sparked something inside me to get me passionate about something that I'd never tried before and really enjoyed making it. And then it's just evolved from there to trying more difficult things to make and testing myself on each build to try and improve on each thing that I make, each sculpture that I make. It's the things in nature that seem to grab my attention, and I'll see an owl or a bird of any description and think, I could make that out of metal if I apply myself to doing that. I make a big variety of things, from motorcycles, vultures, dinosaurs. I'm trying to go through the animal kingdom and make one of everything, but I end up making 4 or 5 of everything, so it's slowing the process down. But I'm trying to make every different type of animal, mostly using cutlery, but I incorporate other things into my metal art as well. I see a lot of things in cutlery, different muscles, etc. for different animals. There's such a wide variety of shapes and sizes of cutlery, and I'm always looking for the perfect spoon or the perfect forks, the perfect knives for whatever I'm trying to make. And it's just such a wide range. The more you look at cutlery, the more different shapes and sizes you see in them, and what they have the potential to become, just using my imagination to see it. I search for my materials in charity shops and car boots and recycling centres. I sometimes get some metal parts donated to me from friends and family, and even strangers. We do actually have a sacred cutlery drawer in my house that I'm not allowed to touch. My wife does get a bit angry when I try to get the odd piece out of our cutlery drawer, and it's a sacred thing that I'm not allowed to touch because it's we need them to eat, so I'm not allowed to take any of that. And when I visit my mum and dad, my parents, I always try to take a piece of their cutlery. There's a certain piece that I want, but they won't let me have it.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, very good.
I've got your stuff.
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh, brilliant.
Hope it's all right for you.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Perfect.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks. See you later. Bye.
Once I've decided which animal or sculpture I want to make, I print off pictures front, back and sides, and then place the pictures around my workshop and get the idea imprinted in my brain and really think about it in 3D, and then I start to gather potential pieces of metal that will work for different components on the build, and then I'll slowly start working it out and building it together. It's usually a slow process where I might be awake at 2 o'clock in the morning building it in my head, and then when I come in workshop it comes together a lot more smoothly. When I've got my reference photos of whatever I'm going to make a bird, say for instance, then I'll start getting the spoons, knives and forks together. I'll cut them at certain shapes. They're basically a 3D jigsaw, how I see them in my head. I have to shape some of the pieces so they'll fit, and then I weld them together, and it's all got to go together in a certain order. If you put some parts on first, it won't work. You have to really think about the order that it's going to come together. Like with a bird, I'd start with spoons for down its head and back, and then cut knives for its wings, and then forks to lay over the knives, and then build the underside of the bird, and then add its face last, and then legs and feet, and then shape and polish, and that's normally how I work out my builds, in what order it has to go together. So when I'm welding different materials, like I can smell the food, even though I've cleaned everything up, it still smells like a Chinese restaurant or gravy boat. When I weld a gravy boat, I can smell the gravy smells coming from it, and it gives you a sense of the history, how many people have eaten from it. It interests me to know that what could be waste has had a life before, and I'm giving it another life, basically, turning it into a piece of metal art which will be cherished and enjoyed for years to come. I sometimes weld these teapots and turn them into all manner of things, cows, dogs, and as I weld them you get the aroma of the tea or coffee coming from it as I'm welding it, as it heats up, and it's just an interesting part of the job. My friend died a couple of years ago, and I was given all his old cutlery, so I made this piece as a memorial to him. He was a very eccentric character, so I had to make something eccentric like a dodo to celebrate his life, basically. So I used all his old forks, all his old spoons, bits and pieces all put together to make a dodo, which really took me time to make it. Really enjoyed making it and had him in my mind all the time while I was making it. I like to try and put a personality into these things, give them soul and a purpose, and I think it's important for people to realise that what they think is rubbish. When I started doing metal art, I didn't have a teacher, so it was like this teacher and the student at the same time. I'm learning from my mistakes and trying to improve on them, and I seem to have my own style now. It's took me about 4 years to develop my own style, but I think that I've got my own style of metal art now, which I'm happy with. I get really good reactions from my artwork. I've started getting people coming to me saying, can you make this or that? And when they receive it, I'm always excited to hear the reaction from when they first see it, when it's like a surprise, if it's a birthday present or an anniversary gift. When I hear about their reaction, that's what makes it worthwhile, basically. I'm very big on recycling. When I see things going into landfill that could be recycled and reused, it's quite annoying that we're such a throwaway society. I think we should be using as resources a lot better and just not being so wasteful with everything that we use, not just metal, plastics, everything else. It all could be recycled and should be recycled.